Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here. Today I'm going to do a little follow-up video to my previous video about making adjustable rings to put little crosses on. And in this video I'll show you how you can make another kind of adjustable ring that you could put any kind of bead or little doodad on the ring and still have it be an adjustable ring. So what you're going to need for this project are your tools. I have flat pliers, round pliers, cutters. We need 20 gauge artistic wire and also a piece that's a bit thinner, about 22 gauge. You need your ring form and a variety of beads. You can also use a thicker wire for the base, which would actually probably be better. So you could go to 18 gauge or even as thick as 16 gauge. So here's the sample I made, and you could reference my other two videos about how to make adjustable cross rings. And so here's the base that we're doing for this adjustable ring. This is more like a 18 gauge wire, so it's a little bit thicker. So here I'm going to go with the 20 gauge to give it a try. And what we're going to do is just wrap it around the ring form like that, and then you want to try it on your finger to have like an approximate size. I'll probably do it on a bigger finger, so we're gonna do it about that size, but then you want to bend it a little bit less than that so you'll have a little bit of give. So we're going to push that one to one side, and then we're going to give it about a 1/4 inch distance, and then we're going to bend this one up. So one sort of bent down and one sort of bent up like that. And then once you have that initial bend done, we're going to put it back on the ring form and bend the wires back to the front. So that little separation there will be at the back. We're going to bend these to the front, and we want to make sure it's nice and smooth and flat. And then, this is really important, you want to find out where is sort of the center part. So wherever the center is, depending on the size of your bead, maybe I'll go with a little butterfly, imagine where you want each of your loops to be. So one is going to be sort of at the top and one at the bottom, so they are going to be a little bit staggered. So let's go ahead and do one loop here. So we're going to hold the wire and then do one little loop like that, and make it a decent enough size that you can fit the wire through a couple of times. So we made our loop here, and then we'll cut it flush like that. You can always adjust these loops after if you find they're not quite in the perfect position. And then for the other side, just checking to see where it'll be a little, you want it a little bit of space in between. So then we're going to turn it around like that, and then we can double check if it's centered. I have a feeling I'll want to move this one over a little bit, but let's go ahead and cut this one so it's flush there, right there. And then actually this one, if we just take it and bend it a little bit back, it's going to be perfect. And then to make sure there's no pokey ends, we're just going to push it with the pliers, and we can go back and just double check that it's sort of in the right place like that. See, one loop's a little bit over from the other loop. And then with our thinner wire, we're going to take the thinner wire here and put it through whatever bead that we decide to put on it. And we're going to put it through like this. And you'll see what I did with the cross is I actually went through it a couple of times that way and a couple times that way. And so we ended up finishing the wires sort of underneath there. So with this one, we'll just cut it a little bit shorter because I have too much wire. So the idea, if you're just adding a bead, is you don't really need to wrap the bead around. So you just want to secure the bead in place. So we're just going to bend this at a right angle like that and take the ring off the ring form and just place it so we have one wire through the top loop, one wire through the bottom, so it looks like that. And then what we can do is wrap it like around and through that loop again. And you may need a little help with your flat pliers to get it through, because sometimes it's hard to grip with your fingers. So we're going to go through, and then you might want to go through it again. That's why it's good to do the loop not too small, because you might want to go through it a couple of times just to make sure it's really secure. And then we're going to pull it through again. And sometimes I like to finish the wire on the top, and then there's no problem with it scratching the your skin. And now for this one, it's right like that. So now, same thing, we're going to go under and loop it right around the wire and then stick it through the loop, pull it tight, and you can stick it through the loop again like that and pull it tight like that, and we'll just give it a little bit of a cut. And then if there are any little pokey ends, you just give them a little pinch with the flat pliers. And you see it really got pushed out a little bit because this is a thinner wire. Like I said, you're probably better to go with 18 gauge wire, but this will do for now just to show you guys how to do it. And so at that point you're just going to press it around the ring form so that it's nicely in place. If you need to do any adjustments, go ahead. And then when you put it on your finger, you've got that little bit of give on there. So if you want to put it on here, if you need to pinch it in a little bit, you can. And then there you have your little ring. So the cross is a little tricky to attach, so I'm going to show you how to attach the cross. And what you want to do for that is just bend the wire like that, sort of give it a start across the cross. And then we're just going to put one of these in each hole of the ring. I'm just using a contrasting color because I actually ran out of copper wire in the 22 gauge. And so what you want to do first is just pull this one back a little bit, and then we're going to bring this wire up through that loop again. Okay, because the idea is you want it to go through twice. Because the wire is 22 gauge, we can do a double kind of a cross there. And then we're just going to stick this one back through that little loop that we made. And if you need the pliers to help you, it's easier to grip it with the pliers. So that's going to go right down. So right now we have the two wires across. And then what we want to do is whichever wire is longer, this seems to be longer, so what we'll do is we'll actually finish this around. We're going to loop it around a couple of times, and then we're going to cut it, so that'll get rid of one end like that. And then with the other end here, we're going to go back again underneath. So now we're going down to this bottom corner, and we're going to just come up crisscross to that top corner, and then back, to go back, and then one more time, go up, crisscross, up to that corner like that. So we have a double crisscross. And then what you can do is bring this to the back, and you can, this one I twisted on that side, so this one we could twist over on this side. So we'll just finish it over here. And then leave the little sharp end on the top. And then you can just pinch your little sharp ends in so they don't scratch, and just put it back on the ring form. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you like it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire, art, and jewelry videos. Push that little notification button to find out when I go live or post a new video. And I'll see you the next time.